We are back at Touchdown Labs. Cowboys Zone, Cowboys Reddit, Cowboys Twitter. You guys all been supporting me. Today I'm back with Kaiir, Elam, another film session for you guys. We're going to review this cornerback who we just traded for in Buffalo. Drafted in 2022, 6'2", 193 pounds. Came into the NFL running a 4.39. So very athletic corner. And before we get started right into the film, I'm just going to throw it out there, guys. I got 10 subscribers from last week's film session. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll go ahead and make film sessions on really anybody you guys want, and I'm happy to get into this one right now. Like I said, reviewing this boundary corner that's coming in here, and he is number 5. I'm going to go ahead and start with some film from his first season, and we'll go ahead and take a look at some of these receptions or targets that he's getting here, and just do a little bit of a deep dive. And what I wanted to end off with was some of his playoff film there as well. So coming out of the 2022 draft, Kaiir Elam was probably the 5th best ranked corner on a lot of folks' boards. Like I said, this kid ran a 4.39, fast, 6'2", 195 pounds. So definitely fits the bill when it comes to an outside corner. And remember, it's just firing off here. We have this set up to do all of the receptions that he's allowed starting with his rookie season. Okay, so you guys can take a look at this film, and like I said, he's number 5 on here. While I go through a couple of comments before we start looking at his playoff footage going from 2022 to 2024. Now, a problem that they had here with Kaiir Elam was that he only started a certain amount of games coming into the league. Um, Touted as a boom or bust pick by a lot of different draft sites, he was someone that was ranked behind Sauce, Stingley, and McDuffie. When you think about Sauce, Stingley, and McDuffie, those are 3 all-pro corners. The next name that probably came off the board here in terms of folks' big boards in 22 was Kaiir Elam. And then it goes to, funny enough, Andrew Booth Jr., who the Cowboys also took a shot on, trading for a late-round pick with Minnesota and swapping out, corners last year there. So, nephew of a former first-round pick, Matt Elam, former first-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens. He has football in his family. Abraham Elam, his father, was a safety at Notre Dame. So he is coming from somebody who's coming from a highly touted football family. They have football in their DNA. He's run track in high school. I know this specific film doesn't look like it, and it looks like he got injured on that play, but it does show up. So there is a little bit of give and take here with his track background. A lot of people say that it doesn't come up on film where he has that top end speed, and people who are vertical threats, they can stack on top of him and get through him there. Right there, we saw Tyreek Hill catching that for a massive gain. And you can tell that Tyreek Hill is probably one of the best vertical stacking threats at wide receiver you're going to face on the outside. So is that much of a concern? Likely any corner is getting a ball caught on them if it's Tyreek Hill there. And you can see even in this, coverage against Odell Beckham, he's able to kind of force that fumble. Now, he is a better outside corner than slot corner, and that's definitely because of his build and his athleticism. He matches up really well with an X receiver or, a Y receiver on the outside, particularly X. And I would say Kaiir Elam comes in with this athletic background that could potentially have him playing safety as well. So keep that in mind. He came in with an average man coverage rating, and that's for someone who has a specific skill set to be a lockdown press man corner on the outside. So the Dallas Cowboys have a huge cornerback problem right now. Am I upset with them trading for this pick? Definitely not. This is something that we love to do. Somebody who has the athletic traits, but just hasn't tapped into those athletic traits when it comes into the NFL. We have a major concern right now when it comes to what we're doing at cornerback because we really only have one starting corner that's able to start week 1 with Deron Bland. What are we doing with cornerback number 2? We don't even know if Trayvon Diggs can start at that position at the beginning of the year. So that's a massive concern. Kaiir Elam fits the bill with having NFL experience, and he's able to start boundary outside when it comes to week 1. Now, would I be comfortable putting him out there compared to Stephon Diggs? Probably not. You're taking a little bit of a backseat in terms of athleticism there and experience. Stephon Diggs, one of the premier cornerbacks when it comes to the outside. So what I'm looking at here is more of a depth piece. Cowboys have put themselves in a position where guys like Josh Butler don't have to play late into the season, and we can have solid option at outside corner when it comes to injuries and us having a depth piece. I labeled him as a boomer bust prospect. Some people say he has lazy fundamentals. Some people say that he comes off the ball quite well. One thing that he does do that everybody agrees upon that I think is going to be a plus for the Cowboys is having the ability to be a force and run support. So his tackling, he's actually quite well. NFL comparison coming into the league was Jalen Johnson. And Jalen Johnson plays for the Chicago Bears, and he's actually a fantastic corner on the outside. Probably one of the best corners, top 10, definitely when it comes to ranking cornerbacks in the NFL today. So, in terms of his comparisons there, they're high. Some of the weaknesses that he came into the NFL with are his ability to, panic and grab. He has a top end speed there, but it doesn't seem to translate on the field. And that's an issue with Kaiir Elam. When it comes to rankings in the NFL, it goes, he's perfect prospect. Nobody probably ranks him there. The next, tier down is a Pro Bowl prospect, and then it's boomer bust. So that's where he came in, probably that third tier. So it was extremely high. 2020 in college was his best year. He didn't have his best film as a junior coming out. Um, so that's an issue that I had as well. And he took a little bit of time to adapt here in Buffalo, something that is a huge red flag for me. Around week 8 last year, Buffalo made this decision to potentially start a 35-year-old Josh Norman instead of him. So I want to go here and I want to go and switch in directly to the postseason and just see, when the Bills did decide to play him in the biggest games, what are the receptions that he's allowing and what are they looking like here? And we'll actually just break this down and analyze this specifically. So he's number 5 at the bottom of your screen. And let's take a look and see what he's doing with Patrick Mahomes. Giving, number one, a lot of space here when it comes to Worthy. And it's likely because that's their outside threat and that's the technique that he's asked to play. But short left pass there, 10 yards, that's going to come up. And we'll go through this one as well, this other film and this other view, but you can see here that this is where I'd like you guys to provide an objective opinion. You know what I mean? He's playing 10 yards off their fastest receiver there. Is that something for us to be concerned about, or is that something in the game plan? That's really the only reception that he allowed last year in the playoffs. He didn't get much playing time. Let's go to the year before now when they're facing the Steelers. You can see that Elam's lined up on the outside here. He's always lined up on likely their number one wide receiver. George Pickens is open, but no one's covering the zone at the top there. So that's another thing to point out, right? Like, is this Elam's job? If anything, he just likely probably saved a touchdown covering Pickens all the way into the end zone there while no one is picking up their tight end, Pat Freemuth, on this zone play. And Kenny Pickett's able to make that pass, but you can see that he's able to get his body in front. Pat Freemuth is one of the best tight ends in the league when it comes to a possession receiver, and he's able to make the tackle, right? And that's kind of all we're asking for him. And where is he lining up here? A little bit of press man coverage. So let's go ahead and put this on full screen. What does this look like? This is again number 18, not Pickens this time, but this isn't great, right? It doesn't. It looks like his technique was a little bit lazy there. He should have been looking in to see if someone else was going to pick up this receiver, but it looks like they're playing man, right? And if you're getting a slant run on you like that, that's pretty sad. You know what I mean? 21 Poyer's there as well. It gets over his hand. I think that's Elam's fault. So I'm going to go ahead and blame that one on him. And there's not too many plays of him playing in the playoffs, but let's just go back one more year. This is when he played probably, I would say, the most in regards to receptions allowed. There were 3 of them. Let's take a quick look at these and see what these are looking like. Um, he's playing here on the outside. I don't think this is his fault. Like, he tries to get off the blocker Smitty there as best as he can. and be involved in the play. So that's not a concern. But that's the issue that Bills fans are saying, right? We got a corner, a young corner that was replaced by 35-year-old Josh Norman. He showed promise as a rookie and regressed since then. He had his most games started as a rookie and then lost playing time due to injury and never got it back. So you're going to see here he's slipping in the snow. A little bit of a issue there with weather, but he's guarding bigger guys here, right? T. Higgins is one of the biggest receivers on the Bengals, and they're suiting him up, getting him there. He had a 56.7 PFF grade his rookie season, and then when he played these couple of plays in the playoffs, it went all the way up to 87.1. So, what are the thoughts and what am I leaving with here? We definitely got a pickup in terms of a low risk prospect. We got somebody who can likely come in day one and start for us boundary outside corner beside Drawn Bland. Is this someone who's going to replace Trayvon Diggs? Definitely not. Is this someone who we can trust to stay on the field while Trayvon Diggs rehabs his injury? 100%. Let's be realistic with our expectations here. I think if we have him as cornerback number 3, that's a great place to put him. Kalen Carson right now is not somebody who I trust on the field. And we drafted Kalen Carson to be that guy locking up everybody in training camp. You guys know when the pads come on and the bright lights come on, some of these guys don't perform. So I'm looking for Kaiir Elam to come in, get snaps day one, replacing Diggs from injury while he rehabs back. And he is somebody I think the Cowboys are going to take a shot on and giving playing time to, because he has this athletic ability along with these, traits that could translate into being a fantastic corner. So this is a pickup I'm excited about as a depth piece. Just like the video I put out on Kenneth Murray, I do think he will be a major player for us in the middle of the field just because of the injury to Overshown as well. So what do I see here? I see the Cowboys protecting themselves, getting themselves a player that can start on the outside, and getting themselves a player that can start on special teams. How this stops them from drafting corner in the first round, it definitely does not. If Will Johnson or Jahdae Barron are sitting there in the first round, trust me, Cowboys will take a look at both of those players, with Will Johnson probably being higher on their list as a boundary corner, somebody who can play all spots along the field, as Jahdae Barron is seen as that nickel. Guys, love the comments from the film session on Kenneth Murray, and also on the 2 running backs last week. Comment, like, subscribe, share this. I need your subs in order to continue going. And I'll put out another mock draft. I'm going to be doing actually a crazy video ranking all of free agency for every single team and how this affects their draft coming up. So, guys, look forward to that. Thanks so much for the support. Touchdown Labs out. I'll see you guys again on the weekend.